What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. Unplanned live stream, unplanned live stream. But it's so funny. I was talking to a coworker today, and he's like, "Yeah, did you hear about Matt Gaetz?" And I was telling him, I did a live stream about a week ago post the election. And, I essentially said, I'm like, I'm not really, impressed with Trump's cabinet picks. I kind of picked some of them apart as to why I was not excited about Trump's cabinet picks. And one of the guys that I mentioned as being sus was Matt Gaetz. Hey, I seen that Trump got Pam Bondi. I like Pam Bondi. I like Pam Bondi. I like the way that she presents herself. She seems like a little sniper. But Matt Gaetz was goofy as hell. He was a Trump loyalist to a fault, yes. But Matt Gaetz was suspect. And I didn't really feel like that particular nomination was going to go the distance at all. And even though Sonny Hostin had to come out and apologize recently for some comments that she said about Matt Gaetz, I still thought the dude was suspect. Think it was a troll. Let's see, to lure out some traders. I'm looking up. Okay, what's your favorite? I'm not sure who Darius, whatever that is, person is, but Matt Gaetz. I said that that was not going to be a good pick for Trump because the guy seemed to have a lot of little skeletons following his closet, and so I was looking into why Matt Gaetz backed out of this nomination with Trump. And this is, let me see what Matt Gaetz said. And I'm just going to read between the lines because, you know, thinking this dude, here we go. Let's see. What is he saying? All right. So Matt Gaetz, let me go over here for a second. All right. Matt Gaetz said, I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the moment was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump Vance transition. Okay? There is no time to waste on needless, protracted Washington scuffle. Thus, I'll be withdrawing my name from consideration, basically for the Attorney General, as Matt Gaetz should have, you know, because I think that if Matt Gaetz would have stayed the course, I don't think this would have been a run of the mill Kavanaugh witching. I don't think Matt Gaetz and Brett Kavanaugh are the same types of people. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem that way to me. Matt Gaetz had a lot of allegations, that could not be ignored, and some of those allegations were very serious. Now, I don't know what happened with Matt Gaetz in the beginning of his career. I don't know who Matt Gaetz was hanging out with in the beginning of his career. But what I do know is that Matt Gaetz, oh, I won't say I do know this, I suspect that Matt Gaetz was diddied. I think he was diddied. I think that Matt Gaetz absolutely knows that there is collateral out there about him, and staying the course for this nomination was only going to expose him and embarrass his family. And I don't think he wanted to go through that. Now, I don't know what Matt Gaetz has done definitively, right? I don't want to lodge accusation, but I can only talk about the political sphere by itself. And like I said, when I thought about why Matt Gaetz was not a good nomination, automatically went back to that GOP takedown of that new Congress guy, Madison Cawthorn, right? And what did Madison Cawthorn come out and say about some of these people at the GOP? Right? It wasn't the Democrats trying to take Madison Cawthorn down. It was the establishment GOP that was taking Madison Cawthorn down. Why? Because Madison Cawthorn was running off at his mouth too much. And what was Madison Cawthorn saying? Let's see what Madison Cawthorn was saying.
Goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, with the average age is probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a keep up with cocaine right in front of you. And it's like, wow, this is wild.
So Madison Cawthorn basically was spilling his beans about when he first got into that swamp. The first thing that some of these establishment GOP people were doing was inviting him to drug and sex orgies. Sounds kind of Diddy, right? It's like the Diddy for politics, right? And I'm not sure if Madison Cawthorn actually complied or what. It seems like from his conversation, he was taken back. He didn't pursue it, right? But at the same time, why would they be inviting this new congressman to a private orgy riddled with sex and drugs, right? Why would that be like the first get together that you want to introduce a new congressman to? It seems pretty sus. And shout out to God, what I forgot. I don't even look at these liberal people anymore. What's his name? Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers was talking about this years ago. Because he was actually just basking in the reality that there was a Republican congressman that was being taken out of the game. And surprisingly, it wasn't the Democrats that were conspiring to take this dude out the game. But I feel like Matt Gaetz probably was involved with some stuff. And I say probably because I don't know definitively. So I don't want to go into Sonny Hostin. But if somebody is inviting you to, quote, private orgies and parties, and they're supposed to be credible Congress people, obviously you stay away from stuff like that. But you also feel like maybe I would have saved myself in my career. Now, mind you, Madison Cawthorn pretty much destroyed his career by himself. I think that some of the car accidents and some of the things that they were saying, I don't know. But he did reveal some very interesting things.
Normally I would have dismissed that all as ridiculous, except the GOP freaked out.
Right. So when Madison Cawthorn got on a mic talking about these secret GOP orgies and drug fest parties, right? The Democrats were not all over that, really. They said something. It was the GOP that was just all over this dude. He had to apologize. I think Kevin McCarthy came on the mic, apologizing for what this guy was saying and saying he didn't know what he was talking about. It's like, how you going to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, bro? How you going to tell me that somebody invite me to a sex party or an orgy full of drugs? Like, that really did happen to me, dude. But like Kevin McCarthy at the time was like, Madison, you better shut the hell up. It didn't happen, right? Like, shoot. But they were very pissed off that Madison Cawthorn was on this podcast singing like a canary about these secret private orgy parties. And this is what I keep saying to you people. This shit is beyond Diddy. This shit is beyond Epstein, right? There are ops all through these little organizations and institutions. And Madison Cawthorn is basically telling you how they roll, right? You're a new congressman, right? And the first thing that they want you to do to see how you really rock is come to this orgy. It's going to have lots of sex and drugs. You down? Crazy. Crazy. So I thought that Matt Gaetz was a very bad pick for Trump because I felt like there was going to be some skeletons that he wasn't going to be able to walk back from. And honestly, Trump should have vetted that particular pick a little bit more, regardless of what you like Matt Gaetz stand for, or if you like what he stand for or whatever. There is still the character of the person. And as much as, people like Donald Trump and Trump can stand on his own, it is still important for Donald Trump to make sure that he is minding his associates and the people that he's aligning himself with, because some of these people got demons in their closet. And, especially when you are nominating people for the attorney general, it's just not, to me, a good look. And Matt Yates knew that those demons would destroy him. That's why he backed out. It wasn't about the witching or none of that stuff, because Brett Kavanaugh went through it. Right? Matt Gaetz could have went through it if he was innocent of the things that people probably are going to put out there about him. But he tapped out. He didn't want that smoke. What you say to Ken saying, get your ass off my line. You ain't gonna tell me to shut up and you on my channel. Get the fuck on. But anyways, yeah. I think that this guy knew that he would not be able to sustain the real life witching of him. And I don't think that Matt Gaetz was only going to be demonized by Democrats. I think that there is a lot of Republican establishment people that do not care for Trump, and they are really about to nitpick all of his picks. And I stand by everything that I say. I said Matt Gaetz should not have been selected to be in Trump's cabinet. He shouldn't have been selected for that role. And I guess I was right, because bro is backing down now. Bro is backing out. And if you're not guilty of anything and you stand on your background, if you stand on your innocence of anything, you're not backing out of shit. And that's just the bottom line. So that's my opinion about Matt Gaetz backing out of the Attorney General nomination. He would not have been able to weather the storm. And I'm pretty sure, again, you guys got to think about these politicians, these new people coming into politics, making noise. These people are collecting collateral on these people any chance they get, because they need takedown material. They need takedown material. So Matt Gaetz, I keep saying Gaetz, this dude, like, he just probably early in his career trusted the wrong people. He really probably just wanted to be in. Somebody invite him to an exclusive party, and he's thinking anybody who's anybody, it's a secret party. These people aren't thinking that they're going to be taped. They're not thinking that they're going to have, people hooking them up with other people. Like I said, and it's weird, when you get invited to some of these parties and you're a man and some woman is coming up to you aggressively pursuing you, right? You might as well, if you care about yourself and your career, always look at all these broads as a setup broad, an op, right? Because they really could be underage, sex trafficked victims who are being encouraged to seduce you so that they can get video content of this high profile person with an underage person. So when they need to close business deals, when they need votes, that's how the swamp works. That's how the swamp works. And I'm thinking that Matt Gaetz might be a victim of the swamp that he chose to be in. That's just me. Yep, I'm pretty sure Gaetz was a victim of the swamp that he wanted to be a part of. That man is not innocent. If he was innocent, he would have been like, throw everything you got at me. I stand on my past. I stand on who I am. Right? I'm a man with integrity, right? You ain't got shit on me, right? But Matt Gaetz can't say that. He's backing out of nominations for a reason. Anyways, let me get into, I hope Dr. Oz get kicked off. I said that Trump had some fruity picks. I think he had some really fruity picks. He went for the usual suspect people, and we shall see how a lot of these people pan out. We shall see how a lot of these people pan out. Madison Cawthorn, regardless of what you think about this dude, he basically told us a lot of what we needed to know. When he first got into the swamp, they were inviting him to orgies and drugs. He even said, I couldn't believe that some of the people that I looked up to, these people are like 60, 70 years old, they're inviting me to an orgy. These people are leading charges on stopping addiction in this country, and yet they are sitting next to him doing bumps of cocaine. So Madison Cawthorn must have went to those parties. He must have went to one, because he's talking about the weird parties in the political space, and he's talking about these people who are sitting next to him doing bumps of cocaine, and they're supposed to be creditable Congress people and people in government who's trying to stop and mitigate the addiction in the nation, and yet they are probably users and addicts themselves. I don't do like shout outs like that. If you're a regular follower of here, I'll shout out my regular subscribers, but I don't just do random shout outs, and I don't take requests. Wrong channel. But happy birthday to your cousin, whoever she is. JD Vance is even stronger politician than Trump in many ways. Get used to MAGA in the next 12 years. Old people, baby oil don't mix. Man, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So Juicy Smoothie, or Jussie Smollett, I guess, he's out. He's out, and he's still trying to play the victim card because he's trying to, salvage anything that's left of his career. But Juicy Smoothie, you just need to go into hiding. And he's standing by the events that led him up to getting jail time, and nobody's believing him. Nobody's believing him. You did the jail time. You hired these Nigerians, and Nigerians gonna get the money. The Nigerians gonna get the money, right? Like, honestly, of all the African nation folks, no shade to the Nigerians, right? But y'all, some of y'all scammers, and y'all know it, y'all gonna get the money, right? So if somebody say, I'll pay you to beat my ass, Nigerians are gonna be like, okay, anybody will be like, okay. Some people will second guess it, but he got these Nigerian brothers, right, just trying to survive in America. And he was like, here's a job. I need you to beat my ass so you can up my racial profile during this hyper-political racial time. And my show is failing, right? Because Empire wasn't doing that good. So Jussie needed a strategy or a distraction or something. I still don't believe what the hell that dude said at all. And these dudes are actually even saying, like, they rehearsed this. They're like, I don't understand it. We rehearsed this. Jussie told us exactly the day and time and everything. And yet this man is literally sitting here talking about he's stand by it. Jussie wants us to believe that he was just so victimized. And these brothers are like, bruh, no, actually, this was all coordinated. What'd he say?
Before we attacked them.
And so this is Candace Owens talking about this. It was originally on Fox Nation.
To survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m.
See, these brothers were trying to be punctual. They were trying to be punctual. He said, you guys got to be there at 2 a.m. So they were punctual. That's one thing I give my folks our immigrant brothers and sisters, they're gonna be on time for that job. Yes, they will.
Had no
Yes, they
phones
will.
because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's real.
He didn't want them to bring any phones because he was concerned that these brothers might lose their phone as they are fake, MAGA and him.
Really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what, 4 minutes?
It was about 4 minutes, but it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls.
Yeah, these Nigerian brothers ain't cut for the cold. They probably came over here thinking that they was going to, make a quick dime, that they could send a little bit over to their people or whatever. They's like, bro, you told us to be on time and you're not even on time. And I'm pretty sure they felt like they was probably getting set up.
So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. We gotta go get this Empire.
All right, so he talking about, so we got to go get this Empire, whatever. They're rehearsing all the lines that they were told to say to Jussie Smollett during this botched, fake MAGA robbery.
Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him. Let's get him. As we crossed the street, we said hey to get his attention.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey.
Aren't you that Empire?
Hey.
Why? You know what really irritates me about liberal media is that they will actually do interviews with Jussie Smollett after that shameful fall. Like, what is it about Jussie Smollett that we need to continue seeing, that even after he's let out of jail, we need to see Robin Roberts interviewing this guy? Why do we care about this guy? Why do anybody care about Juicy Smoothie? Just line his ass off for relevance. These brothers, they basically, and they're walking around free. They're walking around free. So apparently, nobody took that seriously but Jussie Smollett. And unfortunately, him playing the race card didn't work out so well for him. It just really didn't. But let me know what you think about Matt Gaetz. Do you guys think that he was saving himself from a political witching? Or do you think that Matt Gaetz has some skeletons in his closet that maybe this nomination would reveal, and that's why he had to back the hell out? Like, let me know what you guys think. I just thought that that was very interesting because I literally called it. I'm starting to feel like an oracle, you guys. I just read the writing on the wall, and everything I read is so clear and it's so right. It's not even funny. It's just insane. But I called this Matt Gaetz thing. I'm like, this dude is not a good pick. I don't think it's going to be a good pick. I mean, and boom. The Republicans or senators are saying, nah, maybe you should sit this one out. We don't want your skeletons to haunt the party. Because honestly, if they started really playing those games with Matt Gaetz, it really does make the Republican Party look bad. Because aren't you supposed to be God, faith, and family and all that good jazz? You're not supposed to be the parties of sex orgies, drugs, pimps, whores, and possibly pedophilia. But again, there's two sides of a coin and a pendulum for a reason. All right, Gaetz is tame compared to other politicians. You think Matt Gaetz is tame compared? I think he's goofy. I think there's some goofiness to him. But that's everybody has their opinion. All right, everybody has their opinion. And you said my writing on the wall is graffiti. Graffiti is very beautiful. Yes, it is. Some of the best art is graffiti. So if that was like a racist comment, you can take your little dumb ass on somewhere, because I believe that graffiti is beautiful. But the writing on the wall is the writing on the wall. It is what it is. Some of these people have, when you look at how the Holly weird, the political weird space, all these spaces are synonymous. Don't think that your favorite politician isn't a hoe. Don't think your favorite politician isn't out here doing all this diddy shit too. Why do you think the Epstein list is so under wraps? Because we know that there's politicians on that list. We know that, right? They just don't want to be shamed. That's what it is. We got lawyers, judges, politicians rolling with Epstein. That's why we will never see that list, because this is a protected group of deviants. That's just what it is. They are protected groups of deviants. All right. You said mostly leftists on the list. I honestly, I don't think that the satanic deviancy in Washington, I really don't think it has a political party. I think some people, not all people, are manipulated by this disguise that some Republicans like to have of we're God, faith, and family. But really, some of them people are demons. They are devils in disguise. And only an idiot would think that Republicans are just so much more graceful than Democrats. That you got to be an idiot to believe that. These people are the same type of demons with a different color. And that's just word 100, right? But let me know what you guys think. You said power corrupts everyone. It really does. And I agree with that, Jat Pack. But I just thought it was interesting because Madison Cawthorn, again, he was relatively new in his career when he started getting invited to these orgies. And it's just like that movie Eyes Wide Shut. Remember when, Tom Cruise, he started, was it Tom Cruise in that movie? I think it was Tom Cruise. He was getting bigger in his career. And then next thing you know, he started getting invited to all these exclusive secret parties and all this stuff, because obviously these people are playing a leverage game. If they see anybody that can rise, make money, or whatever, they need collateral to hurt that person's credibility or to bribe them. So that's pretty much what it is. Matt Gaetz was literally a walking target the minute he even accepted the nomination from Trump or even thought about it. And, that's why I said Trump needs to really understand what is Trump's vetting process. I would really like to understand Trump's vetting process with some of these people, because he will get shamed just by these fruity picks. And that's just word 100. So, sorry if you don't agree with this, but it is what it is. You are the company that you keep. You can be guilty by association. So if Matt Gaetz ended up being some fruity weirdo that happened to be messing with young girls or whatever, why the hell would Trump want to be associated with that? Let's all make sense here. Let's just all make sense here. You said low IQ vibes will get your low frequency vibes off my channel. Bye. It's so easy to get these demons off my page. I don't know why y'all come up in here flexing y'all ugliness. But people want to act like this is not cold facts. And anybody who's refuting this, they're probably part of the sexual deviant swamp. They're probably a child of one of those deviants. And that's why you in my chat trying to act like this shit is so absurd, talking about, whatever. We know that the political space is full of deviants. Diddy isn't the only deviant. Epstein isn't the only deviant. Yet some of your favorite politicians, both Democrat and Republicans, are sexual deviants, right? And only an idiot would believe that that's not the case. Let's see. Yeah, all I gotta say is look at that interview that Madison Cawthorn did. I think it was about 2 years ago. And the Republicans got into his ass immediately. They 86'd his ass immediately. Why? Because Madison Cawthorn got on an interview, a podcast, singing like a canary about these orgies and drug parties that he was invited to by some of these respected individuals in the Republican space. So do I believe that Matt Gaetz probably got invited to something very similar and he actually bit the bait and they actually got collateral on his ass? Absolutely. I do. This is how these people roll. This is how these people roll. Nobody's perfect, but deviant crosses the line. Absolutely. Because deviants are calculated and they work with an intent of gain. You know what I mean? I really hope Trump is trying to pull a fast one on the powers, the deep state, who are influencing some of his pick optimism. I don't know. I really do believe that Trump believed that Matt Gaetz would be a good option based off of his loyalty. But I think Trump needs to do a little bit more character and background digging before he just start nominating these loyalist type people, because some of them, they got stains. They got stains, and there's probably some floating collateral out there about them. And the last thing Donald Trump needs is to have anybody staining his movement. And that's just word 100. So you can feel how you want to feel about this. Matt Gaetz was going to be an eyesore to the Trump administration the second time around. And I'm so glad that he was smart enough to bow out. Some senators were smart enough to tell his ass, you need to bow out. And maybe they were rhinos who knew that they had collateral on him, and they said, hey, if you don't get your ass out of this attorney general nomination, we definitely gonna be just dropping and leaking some shit on your ass. And it's gonna probably involve a 16, 14, 13, who knows? These people got collateral on them. You said, but Trump wasn't smart enough not to pick him. I don't think that Trump was looking at a lot of the controversies. I don't really think Trump was looking at the controversies. I think he was looking at the loyalists. How Matt Gaetz did his job in terms of going after nonsensical liberal establishment, right? Right? But I feel like those skeletons in his closets were too much, and he was smart enough not to embarrass his family. I do believe that. I do believe that. Yep. You said people are very in love with complimenting themselves on being right. Actually, if you're right, you're right. And it's not about complimenting yourself on anything. It's about acknowledging that you were right. Like, what's wrong with you people? You need to compliment yourself on being wrong all the damn time if it just gets into your feelings so much that people can acknowledge, like, hey, I was right about that. Y'all always want people to run around, I was wrong, I was wrong, I was wrong. Then to have that same energy when people was right about shit. Because about this, I was right. That's why Matt Gaetz is tapping out right now. Because the writing was on the wall. And the smart people knew that. So while you talking all your shit about somebody complimenting themselves that they were right, let's just go ahead and call it what it was. I was fucking right. Is he the nomination right now? Is Matt Gaetz staying the course on being Trump's nomination for AG? No, the hell he's not. So I was right. And I'm definitely going to bask in my rightness. So you can go kick some rocks. Anyways, you guys. I mean, let's just be real. Y'all want to sit up there and some of y'all people want to be fake as hell. Some of you people just don't like hearing the truth. The truth irritates the demons in your very soul. And I'm going to invite you to make that your damn business. All right? I'm going to invite you to make that your damn business. I was right about Matt Gaetz, and that's why his ass is tapping out of the AG. And I'm going to say that till the cows come home. So, boom. Boom. He couldn't stand on his freaking past. If you can stand on your past, you're not tapping out of nothing. You're not tapping out of nothing, right? People are like, oh, well, he just didn't want to go through the witching. Like, look at what happened to, Brett Kavanaugh, right? And it's like, still, you know, Brett Kavanaugh is the Associate Justice of the United States, of the Supreme Court of the United States. And yeah, I definitely will say that I know that these political parties, they play these little slander games. They definitely try to take people out of the game, right? But a lot of these politicians and these hopefuls, they got to understand that you cannot be in that particular swamps with skeletons in your closet. You can't. These people are grave diggers. They gonna be trying to find any and everything that they can on you to try to vilify you and your character. And that's why everybody needs to have a past that they can actually stand on before they start propping themselves or even thinking about being propped in some of these positions, because these people are in it to eat people alive. So you got to have a past that you can stand on to really be in U.S. politics these days, in my opinion, if you're somebody new, right? Because even the establishment, GOP or Democratic Party, they're just waiting to take the people that they don't want there out of the game. They've been trying to get rid of Matt Gaetz. I'm not even sure why. It'd be interesting to see who Matt Gaetz had been hanging out with earlier in his career. I would be interested in knowing who he was hanging out with earlier in his career that got him into some of them parties, maybe. Because I do believe that this dude has been partying, having a good old time, and not realizing that there were cameras and younger children around at them parties. But they didn't want him to know that, because they were probably setting his ass up so that they can have some collateral for any time he wanted to elevate his career. They can come at Matt Gaetz and say, no, you're not. And that's exactly what's happened to Matt Gaetz right now. So watch your friends, you guys. If you ever want to go into politics, just steer clear of everything, right? Don't hang out at no parties. And, well, actually, no, you can party. You can have fun, right? But just make sure that you're not doing anything that will compromise the values that you put on the table to the public. That's all I got to say about that. All right, let me go look at some of these comments. I know we got some Matt Gaetz loyalists who can't comprehend where this discussion is going. I'm not demonizing Matt Gaetz. I'm not, destroying the guy's character. I'm just calling a spade a spade. The guy has some unclean things in his closet that he couldn't stand on, and that's why he had to back out of this nomination. So, whatever. Matt Gaetz was never trustworthy. I'm not going to refute you on that, tourist guy. Not at all. Wolves eating their own. When they came after Madison Cawthorn, when he was singing like a canary about those, orgies and drug parties, they definitely ate his ass alive. He was in and out of the government, literally that fast. So the question is, who has tempted Trump to do what? I don't know. I don't know if I really do believe that Matt Gaetz was an organic Trump pick. I don't think that anybody influenced him to pick Matt Gaetz. I think that Matt Gaetz was a loyalty pick. He has demonstrated that he has been loyal to Donald Trump. He has defended Donald Trump. He's gone to bat for Donald Trump so many different times, right? So I don't think that anybody attempted Trump to do that. I just think that Trump made a misinformed decision, a too trustworthy decision, right? I mean, I even spoke about Tulsi Gabbard, right? I know there's some Tulsi fans. I don't have a problem with Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know the woman enough to have a problem with her. But, you know, and you can't believe anything that Hillary Clinton says about anybody, right? But I always think about the word selection that people use when they're referring to other people. And I just thought it was peculiar. You know, of all the things that Hillary Clinton could have called Tulsi Gabbard, she called her a Russian operative. She called her a Russian operative. And I know that Tulsi was one of those young globalists from the World Economic Forum. Yes, she was. They brought her ass up. And I thought it was very peculiar, too, how Tulsi was just, she had to make such an announcement. I'm leaving the Democratic Party, right? And there was things about Tulsi Gabbard that I personally don't trust, but you guys trust who you want to. They're all operatives to me in some way. I've already told you guys the politicians that I actually like. I don't trust Tulsi Gabbard. I don't trust Elon Musk at all. I really don't. There's something very sinister about all of those people to me. It sucks that Trump didn't pick Josh Hawley for anything. What's going on with Josh Hawley? Are we going to get something with Josh Hawley? I like him. I mean, I like Clay Higgins, right? There's a couple of politicians that I actually do like. I like what they do, right? But I don't know these people personally. I don't know what parties and anything they did. But there's a lot of good, you know, politicians in Washington that I think that Trump could tap for some of these roles that don't seem to be knee deep in the swamp. But you know, he's picking some of these fruity picks, so we'll see what happens. You said I will change my mind. Not very many things in this world make me want to change my mind, especially when I've come to my conclusion based off of pattern facts and things, how they play out. Yeah, Byron Donalds. What's going on with Byron Donalds? If you love Karen Owens, honey, you need to take your ass on her channel, because this ain't what we do over there. Take your ass over there to Candace, right? And Candace is over there defending Matt Gaetz, talking about some, we knew this was going to be a takedown. She's looking at it as a takedown. Or what did she say this was? It was like a witching like Brett Kavanaugh. I'm like, nah, this is not like Brett Kavanaugh at all. Matt Gaetz actually got skeletons in his freaking closet. He wouldn't have tapped out if he didn't. He would have went the distance if he didn't. And that's just what it is. It's just what it is. You said, what? Candace got the receipts on what? If y'all don't stop that stupid ass shit about Candace having receipts on Kamala not being African, those receipts were for white people, not black people. And those weren't even receipts. Like, some of you guys don't even understand social cultural conversations to understand why all that shit that Candace Owens did was just a bunch of bag of garbage. It did not prove that Kamala Harris was not black, because she still is African descent. And that's just undeniable. Is she a foundational black American? No. Does she have African descent in her? Absolutely yes. Probably her dad had from her dad's side, right? So when you talk about Candace Owens and her receipts about Kamala not being African, she didn't really prove that. She was proving that Kamala Harris was not black. Okay? And when we're talking about the context of blackness, we're talking about freemen. We're talking about actual descendants of slaves, which even Candace is removed from that logic. So that was for you, white people. I promise you it was. Don't stop coming over here talking about these bogus ass receipts. I've already told you why I did not follow that bullshit, because as a freeman, an actual descendant of slaves, I knew she wasn't black because she's a product of immigrants. Enough said. Enough said. She does not come from the lineage or the legacy of freemen. Foundational black Americans, American descendants of slave. She's a beneficiary of our struggles. And that is why she's rejected by our people in that regard. So even Candace Owens isn't intelligent enough to be able to expand on those conversations. So I'm going to have to leave you white folks with her. And y'all going to have to stay over there with Candace, all right? If you actually want a real diverse perspective where I'm not catering to what you want to hear, right? You can stay over here. But if you need somebody to cater to what you need to hear, then y'all got to get the hell off my channel. But anyways, you guys, let me see. You said, I hear Lolita James has been nominated for AG. Who is Lolita James? Are you talking about Letitia James? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Letitia James, I don't know what to say about her, but I think she's afraid of her career. Let's see. Yeah, she can keep them receipts. She can put them in her little receipt box because they ain't gonna do nothing. You said Candace is at least half FBA. Well, both of my parents have been here since the 1800s, so I'm whole FBA. And Candace has actually denied her FBA-ness. She's actually putting on profiles that she's Caribbean. So she's kind of a Kamala too. It was kind of perplexing to me that Candace Owens was the one leading the charge on Kamala's Not Black. And she actually disassociates herself from blackness in so many different ways. So that was really for you, white folks. I keep telling you that. Like, you're in denial at this point. You said, I'm not a descendant from slaves. Well, okay. If I'm not a descendant, how are you going to tell me what I'm not? Frank Gerards, is that your white supremacy? Are you a descendant of Hitler? Since we want to just start telling people what they are and are not, and we don't know them. Frank, are you a descendant of Adolf Hitler? Oh, you're not talking anymore. Okay, carry on. Okay, let's see. I can tell you're full of it. Okay. Yes, I'm German, by the way. All of y'all German. Many of you are Germans. But I can see your Zionist supremacy coming through the German. So do you think maybe you want to jump off my page, Frank, and deal with your own people? No need to get annoyed. Yeah. So anyways, I don't really tolerate ignorant people. I will get busy with you all day. I will get busy with you all damn day. You sound jealous. Jealous of what? I'm over here minding my own business, talking about my own damn topics, and you coming up talking about something else. So let's just talk about that. You said, I think Frank is, maybe he do need to deal with his own people, because I definitely just be dealing with mine and the people that I can tolerate. You know, I'm not over here telling people what they are and are not. You know what I mean? This dude is like, you sound jealous, it's like, if you don't get your ass off my channel. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys think that Matt Gaetz was just a great pick for Trump? Did you guys think this was an excellent pick? This nomination was going to be a flawless run. It's not going to be flawless. You knew these Democrats was going to be giving it to Matt Gaetz, but it wasn't the Democrats that told him to back the hell off. It was the Republicans. So, and he listened to them, right? He said that if he would have stayed the course, he would have been a distraction. Why would Matt Gaetz would have been a distraction for the Trump-Vance administration? Because he had some really nasty demons in his closet, likely, that would have made Trump and Vance look bad. So that is my take on this. I knew he was going to be backing out. I knew we weren't going to distance with Matt Gaetz because he was a fruity pick. And I said this and I alluded to it in one video recently, and I outright said it in the other video. So there you guys go. Yes, I'm tooting my own damn horn because that man could not stand on his past, and now he's backing out. So, boom. I don't care what you guys think about me. Shoot. I read the writing on the wall, and that Matt Gaetz writing was clear as day. He's not going to distance. He's not going to distance. And he didn't. And he didn't. I know it hurts some of these weird ass people's feelings because they're like, just be quiet, black woman. You're supposed to be low IQ and don't know anything. It's like, bro, I probably know more than you do. This is real talk over here. This is real talk over here. Let's see. What else is on my radar before I get off of this? Epstein, sexual blackmail, and Israel's grip on American politics. I will check that out later. Shout out to Brianna Joy Gray. I love me some Brianna Joy Gray, and shout out to Savvy Saps too. These are two ladies on YouTube that I really do love. Check them out. Check them out. When is The View going to be canceled? When is The View going to be canceled? This would be a gift to everybody to just cancel that damn show. I don't really understand it at all. It's just enabled racism. It's like, just because racism comes from a woman doesn't mean it's acceptable. Anyways, you guys, I don't want to talk about Diddy. I don't want to talk about that, but a lot of these politicians are getting diddied, and I feel like Matt Gaetz might be one of them. I want to call that guy Matt Yates so much. Gaetz. Anyways, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. You said Matt Gaetz was never trustworthy. I don't believe he was ever trustworthy. I think that he was just knee padding for Trump, right? He's obviously, these people are career ambitious, right? But many of these people are deviants. They are products of deviance. Their parents are deviants. Their grandparents were probably deviants. A lot of these people were deviants, right? They practice really disgusting, filthy things. I was actually looking at this woman. She was talking about her upbringing in a satanic home. And she was on an old Oprah show. And this woman, no stabbing any of the Jews, right? I know all of y'all ain't Satanists, but she grew up in a normal Jewish home, and nobody ever suspected the level of sacrifice that was going on in those people's homes. So I don't take anybody really at face value. You can't take people at face value. Not anymore. And Trump needs to start doing that too. He needs to start practicing that. Stop taking these people at face value. That's how he had an administration in his first term that he had to fire a lot of these people. He had to fire a lot of those people in his first term because he did not do the right assessment, the character analysis, the background analysis. Who is Trump's chief of staff now? Who's the guy? Is it Stephen Miller? Is Stephen Miller the one helping Trump pick these people? I would be suspect. All right. But anyways, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Let me peek back into the comments. Get out of your feelings. We don't do feelings over here. But it'll be interesting to see how the Trump administration pans out, because I think that even some of those people that he are picking, I don't think they're real loyalists to him. I really don't think that they are as loyalists to Donald Trump as they say they are. I really don't. All right, so let me close out. You said Trump doesn't know who to trust. I mean, honestly, how can you know who to trust in a swamp of creatures and slimy people who can be paid to turn off on you? Like, I mean, I would never want to run for politics just because I'd be around demons. You said you like that guy, Matt? Yeah, I mean, he comes off likable, but some of these people are double talking demons. You said ain't no politicians trustworthy. I agree with you, Jason. I agree with you. But it's not even about the trustworthy factor for me. It's about some of these people are freaking pedophiles. Some of these people are pedophiles. Some of these people were knee deep in that Epstein type stuff, and they just smiling and looking at all of us like they're normal people with values, and they're not. That's the thing. Even on the Republican side, you do have sexual deviants who claim to have values, and they don't. And I don't believe that Madison Cawthorn was lying. I really don't believe that he was lying. I think that
being kind of a young guy in Washington, where the average age is probably 60 or 70. Being kind of a young guy.
I want to go here.
That goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, where the average age is probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people. A lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys. That then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove addiction in our country, and then you watch them do a key bump of cocaine right in front of you.
Okay. These people are slimy. So, anyways, that's all I gotta say about that. Shoot a comment in the after this if you guys have another opinion. I'm not asking anybody to agree with me over here. All right. I am just getting on this like some little comment like I hate it when people say that they're right. I don't give a about what you hate. Damn it, I was right. I was right. He was a fruity pick, and I didn't think it was going to work out well, and boom. Say hello to your oracle. Psych. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out with me. We will see how these Trump picks play out. We will see how these Trump picks are being picked apart, because they will get picked apart, right? They got to be confirmed. And so we expect that a lot of these people are going to be picked apart. But let's see who can actually stand on who they are. Let's see who can actually stand on their past without punking out. Because what Matt Gaetz did was a punk out if he was innocent of anything, right? If he didn't have some shady, disgusting, shameful background, he wouldn't have punked out. He would have been like, throw everything you got at me. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on who I am and what I've done, right? Because I'm not a disgraceful person. Matt Gaetz couldn't do that. So take it for what you wanted. Anyways, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for checking in. If you dig honest content, where nobody's going to feed into your emotions. We're just going to talk about truths and facts as they are, right? I need all my stoics in the house, right? We need stoic people over here. We need common sense people over here. If you are emotionally irrational, if you have like supremacy in your mind, because really when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're ugly as hell. And thank God you got a rich daddy so that you can have some kind of value in society. This channel is not for you. This channel is for the common sense folks who have security in themselves. They stand 10-tone down on what they believe and what they think, and they are unapologetic about that, right? I rock with you people like that. Anyways, fine folks, have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye. Oh, love your neighbor as yourself. If you would not disrespect or abuse yourself, do not disrespect or abuse your neighbor. Bye.